Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today I will share my article entitled Exploring Students' Perception and Interaction in Online Learning During COVID-19 Pandemic. My name is Ana Hazika and the name listed is my team members. In this presentation, I will introduce the research, objective of the study, methodology, result and also conclusion of this research. Both instructor and students are taken by surprise with the COVID-19 pandemic situation that requires the teaching and learning to be converted into online base. Instructors were compelled to prepare and structure the teaching and learning process, making sure the students could learn effectively. Most importantly, students also need to adapt to the new environment of learning. But the question arises whether the students are mentally and physically ready to accept this kind of new learning environment, especially for our local nation students that are more familiar with face-to-face learning environment. So, how about the students' interaction? Are the students actually interact with the content given by the instructor? The learner-content interaction among students are also vital to make sure they can really grab the content knowledge of the course. Here I listed the objective of my research. The first one is to identify students' perception on online learning due to COVID-19 pandemic situation. And the second one is to investigate further the learner-content interaction among students in online learning platform. The sample of this study is 47 first-year university undergraduate students enrolled in the Appreciation of Ethics and Civilization course. These students were chosen as a sample of this study since they are still adapting in the learning process and culture within their early university life. Unfortunately, due to this pandemic situation, these students had to shift their learning environment from physical to online base. This study has conducted in 6 weeks and students in this study were provided with several activities throughout the teaching and learning process. This is to make sure there will be a learner-content interaction among the students. The students were given activities including discussion forum and short quizzes through online learning for each of the topics that they have learned. There were 4 discussion forums conducted in e-learning and 2 quizzes using several online learning tools. In the discussion forum, students were given tasks to discuss issues related to the lecture content. Meanwhile, short quizzes were developed and answered by the students, especially on the topics that require students to remember and apply the content from the lecture. The data collection for this study is divided into 2 parts. The first part is for the students' perception, which is collected qualitatively through online survey, where students write their review of the class conducted and give opinion of their expectation towards the future online classes that will be conducted. The second one is to collect the data about students' learner content interaction, and this data is collected quantitatively through the students' log data in the LMS. Next, we move to result and findings. Based on the data collected, the students' perception towards online learning is good and they also satisfied with the interactivity in the online learning platform. They agreed that the learning activity that provide interaction with the students are very helpful to help them in understanding the content knowledge. Here are some of the examples of the students' review towards the online learning classes conducted. However, there are still students that still struggling to adapt into the new learning environment. Some of them facing difficulties with the infrastructure, especially with the internet connection. And these are the sample of statements from the students that demonstrate that they have problem with their internet connection to engage in the teaching and learning activities. These are the findings for students' interaction in online learning platform. The finding shows that the first lecture has the highest frequency of students' interaction with the content, since this is the first class conducted because of the COVID-19 situation. while the lowest frequency is recorded in the lecture 5 with the frequency of 53. Generally, it can be concluded that students interact the most on the first lecture content, possibly due to their early involvement and adaptation in online classes, which require students to access the content repeatedly. This is also possibly to their curiosity to explore the online learning experience coupled by their high expectation. Subsequently, the graph shows a slight decline as the students become more familiar with the learning content in the LMS. The second figure shows the students' interaction during the discussion forum conducted in the LMS platform within the course. Compared to the students' interaction with learning content pertaining to the course lectures, students shows high engagement in overall frequency of the students' interaction in the discussion forum. The highest frequency of student interaction was in the forum 4 with the number of 315 interactions. This demonstrates that students are becoming more engaged to the discussion as they have adapted with the online learning situation. Additionally, a forum requires their direct and active participation in order to present their opinions to add valuable insights to the discussion at hand. Therefore, it can be concluded that most of the students had accepted the condition of online learning classes, but some of them still adapting to the situation due to certain difficulties. Students become more satisfied with their learning process after interacting with the lecture content provided within the LMS across time. Students also become more active when asked to discuss with their peers regarding the issues given in the discussion forum. This study also could benefit other instructors teaching similar courses in order to make sure the students are satisfied with their online learning. Future studies should explore more on the relationship on the students' motivation and academic achievement. Before I end my presentation, I just want to share a quote related to online learning by Keith Bachman. He says that in times where small instructor-led classrooms tend to be the exception, electronic learning solutions can offer more collaboration and interaction with experts and peers, as well as higher success rate than the live alternative. Thank you.